Hi, how is everyone doing today? Hope my sound's all right. Hope everything's cool this end. I really hope everything's cool at your end as well. And I can see there's been some activity going on in the chat, which is good news. So let's say hi to Linda Bishop, hi to Rupali. I'm very well, thanks, Rupali. I hope you're well too. Patricia is here. BBM is with us again. Beverly Spencer, great to see you. Sam. This is Tyler J. Scrolling. Vivian is here as well. Excellent. Lollymop. 1 p.m. is that Pacific time. Yes, I think it is now. Yeah, I think it's 1 p.m. Pacific because it's 9 p.m. here in the UK. Meowdy Cat Mama. Hi, Patty. Hi, Mary Hernandez Walker as well. First time here, Lollymop. I kind of thought it was. Everyone, let's welcome Lollymop because it's good to have you here. It really is. So, it is full moon, really. Full moon happened, let me see, about 8 hours ago. It was about 1 minute past 1 p.m. UK time. Full moon in 29 degrees of Aquarius, so very Aquarian. The moon is already, though, moved into Pisces. She does not hang about, she really doesn't. And she's on the wane now, so the energy's getting less intense, but it's still a very magical time. So let's start with a card for absolutely everyone who's here, everyone who's tuned in, including everyone who's tuned in now when it's another time, when this is an upload. Lots of people watch it as an upload, actually, which is great, and it's available as an upload pretty much as soon as we finish the show here, which will be probably about an hour, maybe a bit more than that from now. So, card for everyone, it's the North Node. Yeah, this camera is seriously rubbish at bringing writing out, but it shows the pictures all right. It's the North Node. Okay, now then it says step out of your comfort zone, and that's the thing to do. And the full moon is a time when we're often kind of forced to step out of it. More so when it's full moon in Leo. This is full moon in Aquarius, and the sun is actually leaving the sign of Leo and entering Virgo at around about the same time that all this is happening. So things are on the change, but yeah, step out of your comfort zone. The North Node in astrology means the North Node of the moon, and it influences where you're headed in life. The South Node is where you're coming from. The North Node is where you're headed to. So never lose sight of that path, okay? Sometimes we lose sight of where the path's taking us, and that's cool, actually, because it is really all about enjoying the journey. That's what matters more than anything else, big style, actually, because it's the journey. Ooh. What happened to the focus? That was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. There you go. You never know what your webcam is going to do next. Seems a good webcam, this. I think it's a bit too bright, actually. I'm like blazingly shiny on my screen here. But there you go. That's life. That's equipment. Hi, Jane the Seeker. Glad you're with us. And Sharon Sipe is upon us as well. Great to have you with us, Sharon. Great to have you with us. Thanks for coming in. And Elizabeth Hayes too. Right, okay. Well, the first person I saw when I logged in was Rupali, and she's asking, is my colleague Mayank developing feeling for me? What's his feeling towards me? Why he finds reason to talk to me more? Is that because of feelings, or am I making him forget his current heartbreak? Well, his current heartbreak is a thing, I'm sure, actually. And I think what I'm thinking is he does actually like you quite a lot. The card I've pulled is the Queen. Oh, excuse me, is the Queen of Cups, right? And the Queen of Cups is big style a dreamer. So yeah, he does have feelings for you, but it's what I don't know if you would use this word, but in Britain we would say someone's on the rebound. They've had a breakup with someone they love, or they've lost someone they love, and they just want to feel that love again. And I think you give him quite a nice feeling of how things could be if you and he were together, but probably not a sensible thing to actually pursue. I wouldn't feel too much that you need to push him away, Rupali. Okay, I think he's kind of always going to be half-hearted, particularly at this time. Um, and the thing is yeah, Page of Cups is the next one out. He's trying to make the best of a situation. What he really wants is what he's lost, and what he's found, like what he's faced with when he thinks about you is like the fish in the cup. He doesn't really know what it is he's looking at. Okay, but in terms of him, we've got the Ace of Wands, right? So something good's going to happen for him. So don't worry about it. It's a temporary thing. It's a short-term thing. But you're doing him quite a lot of good, Rupali. So like, try and be as friendly as possible. Okay. I think you guys are actually going to be good friends. You've like got a good friendship vibe going between you. I can't see it, coming to any more than that. But there's a nice vibration between you, and that's always a good thing, whatever the reason is. So good luck with it, Rupali. I don't think it's going to turn into a problem. I really don't. Okay. I really don't. So, Meowdy, Claudia. Andy, I have a question. Will I ever have pet chickens and dogs? That sounds like one for the pendulum to me. That really does. I'm sure there's another cat coming to you if it's not there already. It will be. Okay. Let's start with the pet chickens. Will Claudia ever have pet chickens? What are you going to do, pendulum? It's giving me a small yes, Claudia. What I think, right, it's either going to be quite a while from now, or you're going to get small chickens like I've got. I've got one of my chickens. The first chicken you saw in today's video, Becca, is she's about 3/4 of the full size of a normal chicken. They're all slightly runty ones, and and the second one, who's just called Burke, she went, well, what's your name? She said, um, she was the runt of a litter, and she is just a very small chicken. And the third one, who I can't think of a comedy name for at this moment, the one with the black and gold feathers, she is a bantam. She's a full-size bantam. They're bred that size, but she is very small. So all my chickens are small. Maybe you're going to have small chickens, possibly rescued chickens, Cat Mama. Now, I don't know what the setup would be in US of A, but I have had rescued chickens. They've been rescued from a battery. They've been in a battery farm. They've been battery hens where they're kept in tiny cages and just made to lay eggs for the egg laying industry. And when they're about 18 months, they stop laying eggs because they're forced to lay eggs intensively in these batteries. And so they're just immediately put to death. But there's a chicken charity that buys them very cheaply from these battery farms when they're 18 months old and sells them then onto me and other people. And I think I got 7 from one of those places once. Sadly, they don't live all that long because they have had a very intensive life. And it's kind of a sadness, because they're missing feathers where they've been trying to get out through the fence. I had one once called Squeak. There's some videos from years and years ago. There are videos on the Twig Brother channel of this. You'd have to go back maybe 7 or 8 years, I think, to find Squeak. And she had no feathers on her throat at all, and she couldn't cluck like a normal chicken because it would have been like she had a sore throat all the time. Her throat area was always cold. And it's heartbreaking because sometimes they come out and they look as if they've been plucked ready for eating. It's not an easy thing to cope with at first. You get used to it though, and you give them a nice home for the rest of their days. And they do lay tons of eggs for the rest of their days as well, actually. I'm surprised the batteries get rid of them, but I'm glad they do. So rescue chickens would be a good way to go. And you also asked about dogs. Will you ever have dogs? Let's see. Just waiting for this to stop twirling on the string at the moment. My guide's telling me you're a cat person. Doesn't mean you can't have dogs, though. Getting a bigger circle for dogs. I think dogs are more likely to sort of be the first extra thing you get. But I know there's a cat on her way to you at the moment, a female cat who really needs you and is going to be really affectionate. I believe she's a black cat. That's what I believe. Okay, so I hope that helps, and good luck, because I know you're a great animal lover. And Lollymop, yeah, I wish people didn't abuse animals, don't we all? It's horrible. I don't even like to think of it, really. I only talk about it because so much good can be done by people who are willing to be kind to animals to make the contrast to that. Yeah, really. Let's quickly pop this one on. Thank you, Lisa. If you'd like a personal reading from me, Twig Brother is one of my guides. That's the name of the channel, of course. Please email me 35and83@gmail.com. That is down there in the description, and it's also scrolling across your screens as we speak. And sometimes there's a couple of weeks to wait. Sometimes I've got a cancellation or someone's rescheduled. People rarely cancel, actually. I'm lucky like that. But sometimes people reschedule, and then I get a space. So I'm just reading the chat. Yeah. Right, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Sandra said she didn't know that happened to chickens. Yeah, the food industry keeps it very, very quiet, actually. Of course, if you buy free range eggs, that's a different story. They have a much, much better life. But the cheapest eggs, which are sort of necessary because so many poor people live in poverty, and they just have to get things as cheap as they can. And that's where the battery thing comes into it. I don't know what the setup is in USA, but I feel sure it'll be something fairly similar. And what's really sad, right, is I think they get something like 1 square foot for a cage, which is tiny, really. The chicken's like nearly a foot tall when it stands up. There's just room to stand up and move. And that's new legislation. They used to have 3 or 4 of them crammed into one of these foot square cages. When I built my chicken run, I built it with 3 square feet each, a square yard for each chicken, thinking that would be great. And when I actually put the chickens in there and looked at them, it's a tiny space. I mean, they could run about, but they couldn't do much or fly or anything. So I built a thing which you've seen in my videos, which is still a pretty small chicken enclosure. It's not a big thing. It's the size of a shed. But my God, it doesn't take much to give them a bit of extra room to run around in. And as for feeding them, I feed them quite generously, and they're allowed to go around eating grass and stuff as well. I would say, though, that there was a time when we had bird flu in UK, and I had to keep them locked in for months, and so they were only eating what I fed them at that time. And it was costing me about £5 British, which would be $7 to feed something like 7 chickens for 1 month. That's all it was costing, right? And each one of those chickens was laying an egg sort of every other day, something like that. So you can imagine the number of eggs and how cheap it was. Maybe you can work it out from that. It's kind of, it's kind of cruel. I suppose people have got to make money and stuff. There's always that old excuse comes up again and again. People do have to make their money, but at the same time, yeah, horrible situation. Lollymop, my girlfriend Joyce is fighting cancer. That's not a nice situation either. Will she win her battle? Okay, let's take a look. Let's just rehydrate myself a second. I believe she will. I've got 2 pendulums, by the way. I go with the one I'm drawn to. And this is a Reiki pendulum, so it's very good for use in matters of healing or anything to do with people's illnesses. Straight away, it's given me a nice circle. It does a circle for yes and a back and forth or a side to side for no. It's given me a really big yes, so I feel confident about that. I've got to back this up, Lollymop, by saying, as I'm sure you realise, you're not stupid, any of you, I know, but I've got to say it for legal reasons. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm a psychic, and if in doubt, see a doctor. Got to say that. But you know what, Lollymop, I don't know if you've given her healing or someone's given her Reiki healing or spiritual healing, but I feel that there's a lot of good spiritual energy around your girlfriend, and I feel that is largely responsible for why she's doing reasonably well. I also feel that it doesn't seem to everyone like she's doing reasonably well at the moment. But believe me, I'm being told that she's much better off than she would otherwise have been. You know, you never know how bad these things could get or anything like that. But yeah, keep sending healing in as much as you can, okay? But that was a nice big yes from the pendulum, so I feel sure she's going to win that battle. It's got to be good news. So, hey, thanks for your question, Lollymop, and I'm sure we all wish you the very best with that. And you know, I'm sure we all send out healing as well. Those of us who are healers can just kind of send some healing out there for Joyce, okay? And even if you're not, you know, what we call an attuned spiritual healer, you send healing thoughts to someone, it works. It really works. Okay, so send those healing thoughts out. Okay. Right. Okay, you might need to type your question in again, guys, but do please sort of give me time to breathe along the way. All right, Elizabeth, can I have a card, please, for this week? Most certainly, my friend. Most certainly. Ooh. Okay. Well, this isn't my favorite card in the deck, but it always leads to a situation healing. It's the Three of Swords here. Okay. So swords is air sign energy, and so it's about stuff that's blowing in the wind. It's also about decisions. And what you need to do for this week going forward is decide that you're going to stand strong, and whatever's hurt you in the past, whether that's the recent past or much earlier in life, something's hurt you and you need to sort of move beyond it. But you're getting some help from the universe, because if I come up close, and this is real, oh no, it's not really showing on this webcam, unfortunately. But when you look closely at this card face to face, it's raining heavily. And so the rain is going to dissolve the heart-shaped cake. So it's about finding a new way. It's about finding new strength, okay? But the three swords in there are steely, strong swords, and they represent your willpower and your actual ability to turn situations around. So believe in yourself, Elizabeth. That's going to be really important. That's important for any of us, of course, but really, that's the thing to be focusing on for the next week ahead. The moon starts to wane, but she's in Pisces at the moment, so there's a lot of compassion in the air. Use some of that compassion on yourself, Elizabeth. Please do, okay? I'm sure it's going to, you know, turn out pretty well by the look of things. I think it's going to turn out pretty well indeed. Right now, I found it. I was just looking for Gartha there, because I was drawn to Gartha a minute ago. So we'll go to Gartha. May I please receive a message from my guides? I will try my very best, Gartha. I'm actually going to use a card for you as well as we do that. But, you know, it's probably the same with all card readers, actually, whether they know it or not. But you know, part of it is pulling a card and what the book says that card means, and the other part of it is just feelings you get as you're reading the card, you know. And guys, if you're in development, if you're just learning to read cards, please, you know, don't feel you can only learn what's in the book and repeat it. If you get a feeling while you're reading a card, give that feeling out, because it has come in for a reason. Right, now the card I've got for you, all right, it's never simple. Two cards have come out together, but that's cool. We'll do them. You did ask for a message rather than one card, so this kind of forms itself into a message. First one I've got for you is priorities, and it's King Solomon. Right, if we look above his head, there's that great Merkaba pattern thing, surrounded by purple healing light. And I see this as you reaching out towards your guides, Gartha. And I think I've picked this up for you before. I think you're very good at reaching out for your guides. I'm feeling that you remember, you know, that you have got spirit guides, that you have got guardians and angels to help you. I know that you've got a gatekeeper, because every living creature has a gatekeeper in the spirit realms, okay, whose job it is to kind of just help you along the way and to block out negative influences that might get in the way, okay. So you do have that for sure. And that's what I really want to remind you of at this point. So make it a priority to ask for protection and ask for help. Okay, other card I got, Teacher, and this is Machoan Ragoxi. I bet I'm guaranteed to have said that wrong, but it's the Teacher card. Okay, this character has got this beautiful purple robe on, and there's a lot of healing comes in the form of teaching, in the form of learning something that actually helps you to understand what's been going on, that actually helps you then to move on from things that have been blocks to you, from things that have been worrying you. So there is energy around moving blocks out of your way at the moment, Arthur, okay? But make it a priority to tune into that gatekeeper you've got, okay? Now, we don't always get to know their names. We don't always get to see them and know what they look like, but you have a gatekeeper. So remember to keep sending your thoughts out to that gatekeeper, okay? Because obstacles need to be removed and cords will be cut. I feel sure cords will be cut for you, but you might need to make the first move and cut some of those cords yourself. I hope that helps you, Gartha, and thanks for your question. Okay. Okay. So let's do some more scrolling. Welcome, Lavette. Nice to have you with us. Hey, Summers. Right. Oh, now Lisa is telling us there's a lot of rain happening here right now. Hurricane washing over northeast coast of the US. I particularly wanted to put this up because I've heard from one of our friends that it's been raining in a lot of the areas where there was big concern about the forest fires spreading, and it's just brought some relief, brought some healing. I guess it hasn't put the fires out completely, but it's given people a sense that, you know, there is actually a natural helping hand that can come down. So in some ways, it's pretty good to see rain coming. Hurricane, kind of negative, kind of worrying, kind of scary, and, you know, obviously is going to cause damage because they always do. We get them here, and I sit, you know, wondering if a tree's going to come through the roof or something, because I am surrounded by trees. But you know, yeah, the weather keeps changing, and these natural disasters, these natural phenomenon, always cancel a little bit of each other out. So I'm seeing that as a message of hope, Lisa. But I'm sure, you know, we're all kind of sending you some kind of comfort there. Right next to this, we've got Patty Palmer asking, "Can I get a message from my dad?" Now, I've come to you right away because I do feel that he's close at the moment. It's got to take a quiet moment and tune in. I'm seeing quite an old car, Patty. A car that's of an age that, for him to have been your dad, this would have been an old car in his times. It's like a 1940s car, maybe something like that. That's what I'm seeing at the moment. I hope that means something, because that's certainly what I'm seeing. Right, Patty, what's coming to me is that you've got some positive plans, right? But you've kind of got questions about whether you're going to have the energy in the immediate future to do anything with those plans. What I want to say to you is give it everything you've got, put everything you can into those plans at the moment, because as long as you've kind of got things planned out, things are going to move positively for you. It has to do with some kind of injustice from the past, or it would have felt like an injustice at the time. If you can move on beyond those feelings of injustice and just put everything you can into making a positive plan for the way forward, actually in the next few days, because this energy is actually very close, in the next few days you'll see unexpected progress with it. That's what I'm getting. You're sort of going to have to decide which way to go yourself, Patty, because I'm now aware that there's more than one positive thing you could make a good plan about at the moment, all right? But it's the one that stands out most to you. Ask yourself, what is it you're thinking about the most when you're trying to plan your future? Put your effort into that, okay? Be willing to cut cords, 2 cord cutting cards in a row. Be willing to cut cords if that's what you need to do. Don't fear it. People will understand. Sometimes you've got to lead the way Yeah, sometimes you've got to be a leader, even if you don't feel like a natural leader. And even if you've turned to people for help and they said, no, 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 don't do that. If you want to, you lead the way, let them follow. Okay. You'll understand. Oh, they'll understand once they see you gathering understanding of yourself and moving forward. But it is time to make a move, really. And he's behind you all the way, right? He is absolutely all the way behind you. Mrs. Tyler J says, thumbs up, pretty please. Yeah, do drop a like on this one, guys, if you're enjoying it. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the old subscribe button, because on a good week, there are 3 of these videos a week. I ended up doing 3 a week for the simple reason that I have a very poor internet connection, which drops out really quite often. And my plan is, if I advertise 3 and I aim to do 3 shows a week, 2 of them usually make it out. I think we're on the 3rd show in a row this week, so this is pretty good. Yeah, we did Wednesday, we did Friday, and now we're doing Sunday. So this is good stuff. But do hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification every time. And if you don't get a notification, you can be pretty sure I'm not going to be turning up. And I'll be fed up about that, actually. But because I'm always fed up when I can't make these things. Elizabeth Hayes sent a $2 super sticker. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. For some reason that didn't show up. They don't always show up on my screen and I have to scroll through to find them. So guys, if you've sent me a super sticker or a super chat, thank you very much, either in retrospect or in advance. Always much appreciated thing. Popping back to Garther at this point, how did you know the name of your guides, Andy? Oh, it takes a long time. I'll give you an example of my very first guide, whose name you all know, which is Twig Brother. He's a Native American spirit guide, so has that thing of being named after something in nature, and he was around me a long time, maybe 7 years before I actually got his name. But I got to know a bit about him because I sat in circle. Now, in times of the pandemic, it's been difficult for people to sit in a circle. And I believe we've got a little bit of a circle going on here. It's where everyone's spiritual and psychic energies come together and work together to make things happen. And I was in this circle and I found myself talking about a book that I just bought secondhand from Amazon in the good old days when Amazon only did books. And it's called Black Elk Speaks. And a lady in the circle told me that my spirit guide was one of the characters from that book, not Black Elk himself, but a character from that book. And in meditation, I realized that it was a friend of his called Dog Chief. And that wasn't his real name, that was his nickname, Dog Chief, in the Black Elk, the Teachings of Black Elk books, which is, it's really worth getting and reading, guys. It's, that Native American knowledge is fabulous and deeply amazing. But it was a few years later. I was trying to think of a name to give the channel, because I think it was called Andy's Chickens at the time, and it was all about chickens. And I wanted to make it a psychic channel. And for one reason or another, right, I was talking to someone on Facebook about the TV show, which I don't know if you get it in the States, but we had it in UK, big style. It's called Big Brother. Like, all these celebrities are in a house and Big Brother tells them what to do through a messaging system, and they sort of have to do it, and they avoid getting kicked out of the house as much as possible, and eventually they do get kicked out of the house. Anyway, I'm digressing because I'm reading the chat and wondering about things people are saying all the time. I can't help it. It's fun for me reading the chat as well, guys. It really is. And I was just joking with someone because I live out in what we call the sticks, really out in the the wilds, the middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees, and just Twig Brother seemed like a good name. And then another medium I know told me that was actually the name of my guide, who I've been able to see and feel around me for a long time. And this is the thing, Garth, I've been working with this guide a long time. It doesn't really matter what your guide's name is. Okay, you will find out when you need to. They will let you know somehow. I have another guide called Rosalie, and she just told me her name, which is a real nice, simple way to do it. She is very amazing. They're all amazing, really. But bottom line, you'll get to know when you need to. What's really important is visualizing your guide coming around you. Okay. I first saw Twig Brother right at the very beginning. I was doing readings, kneeling on the floor at a little card table that I had at the time. And there was a chair right behind it. And I felt I should move this chair. There was plenty of room for me, but I wanted to move this chair. And I could feel this character shifting around behind me. And I could feel his hands on my shoulders when I was giving readings. And I still can feel that very well. Most of the time I do readings, actually. He's behind me with his hands on his shoulders. And I just felt I could see he was a medicine man. I could see he had the animal head over his head and the animal skin around him. I could see all his beads and things that he was holding in his hands. And so I moved the chair out of the way. And that was the first time I'd actually done something, because I believed and I could see that someone was there. Very, very faintly, though, right? This isn't like seeing someone walking into the room. This is getting a sense of someone, Arthur. Okay, but just keep on trying to tune in. I love the stories that I tell you as well, and thank you for that, because I love the fact that these things have happened, but guys, anyone, learning to tune in, don't worry about your guide's name. It's much more important that you guys actually get connected up with your guides, and that will happen as if by magic, and it really is as if by magic. It's sure to happen. Just keep visualizing and you'll get a sense, and that sense will grow into a relationship. BBM, thank you very much for that. Yeah, taking in what I'm saying, been drawn to explore your spiritual side recently. Yeah, thanks very much. I do hope it helps. I'm quite scatterbrained, you see. I had a stroke when I was young, and I'm nice and healthy now. It's not a problem. But I have my brain rambles off very easily. And one of the reasons I love doing this work is that I seem to be able to focus my thoughts and actually speak my truth. It can take me a while. It can be in a roundabout way, but we get there in the end. We really do. Okay, so I am scrolling, looking around for some questions at this point. Sorry, I don't like to go quiet for too long, but I need to just kind of focus on what I'm looking at. Let's look at this one from Sharon Lee. It's not a question, but she's saying she's looked for a spiritual church in Minneapolis. Not sure you have one. Yeah, put on pause at the moment. Fair enough. Yeah, everything's on hold. There are 3 spiritualist churches near enough to me that I could go to them. And I used to go to all 3 of them just about every week before this happened. And they're all closed because they're all small buildings, and you could maybe only get 2 or 3 people in the medium in there. So it's sort of become pointless. But I think they will come back. I think they will open up, I think this will pass. The closest thing we've got to this in our knowledge of history really is like 100 years ago, the big one that happened, the big flu thing that happened after the First World War, the Great War. That did pass, devastating, and it went on for years, but that absolutely did pass in the end. Patty, I'm glad to hear that. Great. Yeah, there was no snake found. Wonderful. We aren't plagued with poisonous snakes in the UK, though we do have adders, and I think they can give you a poisonous bite, but they hardly ever do, They're really kind of calm snakes. And we've also got garter snakes about the place, because there was a fashion for owning a garter snake back in the 1980s. They were illegal, but people got hold of them anyway. And a lot of those garter snakes escaped. So there's a thriving garter snake community, but I don't think they actually cause any trouble or kill people or anything like that. But I'm very glad, Patty, that snake turned out not to be there. And I'm not surprised the pendulum was right, but it's always lovely to have it confirmed. So thank you. Susan is asking, please, can you ask if my youngest son will get a job soon? Okay. Let's go with this one. It's tied a little knot in its chain. There, that's done it. It's funny how chains can tie themselves in knots, and it's funny how easily the knot can come out of a chain as well. Okay, so will Susan Kelly's youngest son get a job soon, please? Not really soon, Susan. Okay, yes, he will. He'll get a job. Right, the pendulum gave me a yes, but it took a long time to build up to that yes. Let me just, I'm going to ask my deck of cards for a number of weeks, and whatever number we get on the card will be the number that we actually have in. Oh, right. Well, what I've got, actually, this is no bad thing. It's lucky for some, it's 13. Okay, I've turned over the card, which is number 13. And I was asking for a number of weeks, okay? And that is the death card, and it's all about sudden big changes. So 13 weeks. That's not really soon, is it? That's kind of, I think that's like a quarter of a year or something. It's about 3 months, but it's coming, Susan. And basically, it's going to happen in time, okay? There won't be any kind of financial crisis with him. That's like the energy finding its goal, and it's going to come in and happen in plenty of time. Okay. Sam says, repost your questions, but please do not spam them. Yes, please, guys. Okay. It's kind of just gets difficult to concentrate, and I do have to do them one at a time. I wish I could just kind of, answer them all really snap quickly, but I call my guides in, and I've got a responsibility to pass on everything that my guides actually give me when I ask them a question, partly out of respect for them, but also because they are trying to answer people's questions as comprehensively as they can. So that's why I don't just snappity snap move on. Some people who are really obsessed with making the money on Super Chat as quick as possible will just pull the card, another card, and just like do it so quickly that maybe it's a skill, maybe it's okay for people to do that, but I do like to take my time with each question, and that's why I kind of keep moving ahead. Vivian volunteers for the shelter, an animal shelter. Gonna wait to get cats, but once you saw them, couldn't stop thinking about them. Great. Yeah, it's hard to stop thinking about cats. They're lovely creatures. They really are. Okay. Mary Hernandez. Walker, even. What kind of sage advice can I offer my daughter, Madeline, when she comes home from boot camp and military schools, besides that she is loved? Right, I know the perfect deck for this one. That's going to work your light. Wow, this camera really kind of blanches things out. I haven't even got studio lights on. This is an amazing camera that I'm using. I've just got my light on in my room, my normal light that I had before I was a YouTuber, just in the ceiling. And it's super bright, as if I've got like gleaming TV studio lights on me. Right, we get a lot of good advice from this card, Work Your Light. And it's good advice because it's advice about what you can actually do, about the light that you've got around you, the light that shines through you in your own life. Okay. Card I've got for you in response to that question about Madeline, Mary, is this one. It says deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Okay, so where you've put a heart in your question there, that is the heart of the matter in so many ways. Okay, the love you have for her is really, really a powerful thing. She needs to just kind of bask in the whole thing of being loved. She needs to step back from the world, really, because it does say retreat, and take some time out. I feel that so I feel if we asked Madeline if she'd been working hard, she probably thinks she could have done a lot more. She could have worked a lot harder. But I'm being told she's just, she's one of those people that always wants to do more. And in reality, she has done a hell of a lot of good, a power of good. I think she's helped people. It feels like she's helped people. That's the feeling I'm getting. So, it's time for her to be helped, really. Boot camp and military school. Really hard going, actually. And one thing, and I've been through both of those, actually, because I was in the Air Force. The force has kind of conditioned you to do as much as you possibly can. And they always, especially in the training phase, they'll always leave you feeling that you could have done more. So reassure her that she's done enough. Okay, I think it's going to turn out to have been a big success, actually. I think it's going to be a big success. But yeah, what she really needs to do is rest. That's the best advice, really is. Thanks very much for your super chat. Hey, great to have you with us. Is there anything that wants to come through for you? Let us find out. Let us find out. Okay, let's do some tuning in. Right. Now then, I don't often use this deck. Some would say I don't use it often enough. Messages from your animal spirit guides. All right, Stephen D. Farmer, and it's really hard to open. It has a way. This box has a way of ripping my fingernails off, but I've got it open. That's probably why I don't use it all that much, because it rips my fingernails off every time. I mean, it pulls them off the skin. They don't steal from me, I'm happy to say. Okay. Now then, chances are I won't know what this means at all, and I'll waffle, but it'll mean something to you. It's a very magical deck, this. Wolverine, you're a lot tougher than you think you are. Hey. A lot tougher than you think you are. And I've got a feeling we're looking at something around the natural disasters that are going on around the world at the moment. And the fears that there are in many parts of the States that things like wildfires are going to take off, actually. Also, just got a feeling that you're concerned that you haven't prepared as well as you could for future potential contingencies. And I don't mean disasters exactly. I mean, like, we all try to save up and have some money put aside for what we would call a rainy day in UK. And it's always a rainy day here, actually. But you know what I mean? Have a nest egg, some money put away. I think you're concerned about that. But you're in a pretty good position, right? You're a lot tougher than you think you are. That's what's coming through here. Now, Wolverine here is wandering around in nature. There is a lot of light shining on the other side of the bushes, on the other side of the green. It's okay for you to retreat back a bit, retreat back a bit from the world. All right, don't feel you've got to be so out there. Look at this scene we've got here. Wolverine is kind of shaded from the sunlight being too blazing and too brilliant. Getting the hiccups there, so I must be right. But yeah, you're a lot tougher than you think you are. Hey. No, I've dropped the mouse now. Right. Hey, thanks for that question. Thanks very much for that super chat. Also, big thanks to Vicky Loper, who sent a $9.99 super sticker. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. This is wonderful. All your super chats and super stickers, they kind of, something comes in from Google every month that way. And it's really, really useful to have. You sometimes need to replace computers, cameras, microphones. There's not usually a month goes by when I don't have to replace something. And they help no end. Those donations, they help no end. So thank you very much indeed, Vicky, for that. Mrs. Tyler J, losing your internet again. And BBM says, has Andy's stream stopped for everyone? Vivian says no, so I guess the stream's still going on. Very dodgy internet, actually. I've had Netflix going on and off quite regularly just lately. Quite annoying, really. You'd think that after all these years of the internet, they'd have found a way by now of getting it into people's homes. Let's go to Sharon Lee. Sees me. Great. I sees you, Sharon. I sees you. Great. Patricia, I'll have a card, please. You certainly may. And I'm going to stick with messages from your animal guides at this point, actually. Let's see what we get here. Lollymop, mine is fine. Hey, stream is fine. Great. Kate, very patchy. Oh, dear. Well, I guess it's not at my end. But I guess, if there's like hurricanes around the northeast USA, then that's kind of, that's that whole side probably going up to Canada as well. Because like you think northeast USA, you kind of next thing is you're up into like Niagara Falls and Toronto and Ontario and up that way. So that must be a pretty big weather system, actually, and that's probably not helping the connection from UK. It comes through a cable under the sea, you know, it's like SpongeBob SquarePants. It lives in a, not a pineapple, but a cable under the sea. Right. So, Patricia, card for you, Blue Heron. Here we go. Take a look at Blue Heron, then I'm going to read it out because the writing will never come out on the screen. Blue Heron says, make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. Okay, Patricia, I hope that helps you. Right, Blue Heron here, standing in water. Black and white cat about to stand on me. Hello. Here she is. Say hello to your fans, Marcy. Go on, look at the camera and say hello to your fans. She's like camera shy, but she loves to be on camera at the same time. It's kind of weird, isn't it? There we go. We've got Marcy on board. Yeah, make a stand for what you believe in. That's the most important thing, Patricia. Right? You see how Blue Heron is standing loud and proud. And blue herons, I've seen herons, they naturally stand up like that. You know, they let themselves be seen. They're sort of ready to defend themselves with those long beaks. I don't feel you've got anything you need to defend yourself from, Patricia, though. So, you know, stand up loud and proud, and be proud, be glad that you're yourself, okay? You've got great skills that you can bring to bear on whatever situation you find yourself in, is what I'm being told. So certainly as you go forward, right, and I tend to I tend to feel that these cards are for the future, even if I'm doing it like now, sort of with the idea that it's for the next week or so. These cards are for the future, so that's a good direction for you to go in, Patricia. Okay, thank you. It resonates in my life. I'm really glad to hear that. Karen Sullivan, East of England. Hi, Karen. Really glad you could join us. Are you in the East of England? Am I finally building up some UK viewers? This is great. I think we've got 3 or 4, you know, and I love working for people in the States, actually. I really enjoy the connection we have across the pond. But cat's going manic now. Marcy, don't go manic, please. Let me continue to do this. This is Tyler J. Had to restart twice again. Oh, yeah. Could be computers, you know. I've had trouble with my computer. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, the microphone sounded terrible. There was hardly any sound getting through. And the answer turned out to be to reload the operating system. Now, if you're using Windows, that costs money, I know. But I use Linux. I'm using a distribution called Linux Mint. And it's free, so I keep everything on memory sticks. There's nothing really stored in the computer itself, and I just reload the whole thing every now and again, and that seems to take care of it. But yeah, Sam, I know Summers, you're in London. Yeah, Summers is in London. There's a lady called Irene. I haven't seen her tonight, but she was around on Friday. She's in Birmingham, and you're in Norfolk, Karen. That's a great place to be, actually. I've been to Norfolk, been to the Norfolk Broads. Sharon Lee is pleased to see Marcy, aren't we all? I am too. And Vivian says, cute cat. She is a very cute cat indeed, actually. Of course, there's Tinkerbell as well, but Tinkerbell is a bit wilder than Marcy, and she's still living the outdoor life. But Marcy just earlier today came in and she did something that she hasn't done since before the summer really took off. She just came and started meowing to come into my room, and then she went to sleep in my room. And she's been out and about again during the show, but she just walked back in a few minutes ago. And this is great. This means she's going to be in for the winter now. She's also trying to knock the mouse out of my hand. It's the wrong sort of mouse for you, isn't it? But she likes to knock it out of my hand because she knows I'm giving my attention to other people. Susan says, Twig, that's around his birthday. Thanks again. Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Okay. Lisa's saying hello, Marcy, and I will pass those hugs on to Tinkerbell as well. Tinkerbell quite likes a hug. She sort of wriggles and pretends that she doesn't like it. But she has like a 2-minute hug before she wriggles and acts as if she doesn't like it. So I know she does like it, really. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, please subscribe. please do subscribe, guys. It helps the channel no end when you guys subscribe, and it makes sure you get a notification whenever anything new is coming up. I try to put videos out most days. I usually take a couple of days a week off. I probably only just do 60-second tarot tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I'll be back to live on Wednesday, and uploads through the weekend is what I tend to do. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, all of you guys. If you haven't yet, please hit it, and you will actually get notifications when new stuff comes along. I hit 2,050 subscribers about 3 weeks ago now, and it kept going down to 2,045, you know, up and down, up and down. Right now it's 2,057, or it was when I went live. So let's try and make that magical 2,060. There's just something about 2,050. I just couldn't stay there, but let's hope. Let's hope. So do subscribe, guys, please do. Okay, right. Another good point from Lisa, actually. You go where you're drawn, and here you are. Great. Yeah, that really is how it works, you know. Everything that happens to us is somehow we're attracted to it, you know. Even the not so good things, to be quite honest, but then we're drawn to something positive to bring all that into balance, which is always good news. Okay. Right. Red Hat is in Stockholm. Good internet, but crappy phone at the moment. Right. Tends to go the other way with me, actually. Tends to go the other way. Right, let's do a card for you, Red Hat. Okay, and Sandra, yeah, I'm going to do something about the blue moon very shortly, because we are coming towards the closing moments of the show. And Marcy is like really digging her claws into my arm at the moment. So she obviously wants loads of attention. But right, let's do a card for Red Hat. Beverly is 68% British bloodline. I'm an American. I'm proud to be an American, as you should be. An American is a great thing to be. It really is. I was one in a past life, you know. I really was. Okay. Right, trying very hard to shuffle this deck now. Calm down, Marcy. You've got food and you've got drink. You know you have, because I made sure before I went live. Yes. Yes. Go to sleep. Okay, card for tomorrow, particularly for tomorrow. Need to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Well, artistic expression. Paul the Venetian. Now, Paul was associated with the tradition of Venetian glassmaking. I'm not sure what he did, but he was an expert in glass. So definitely very bright kind of energy with this card. An artistic expression. Okay, that is really going to be something you excel at, I feel, Red Hat. Marcy shuffles, yeah, she really does. And this is the card she's brought out for you. It's Paul the Venetian. I'm laughing too much to make any sense of it. So I'm going to draw another one to try and go a bit deeper on this. Okay. Well, yeah, freedom. Okay, believe in freedom. All right, you know, feel free to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I don't know why you wouldn't feel free to be that, but you know, this world does make it difficult sometimes. Please don't drink my water, Marcy. She eats dead rats and then comes in and drinks my water. Oh, wow, she's jumped down, got a minute's peace here. Oh, here she's back again. Hello. Right, so you're welcome, Red Hat. Best of luck for that. Let's all send some good energy to Red Hat, because she really needs to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow. She's not just saying that, she really needs that to happen. Right. Okay, guys, let's bring... Bad Boy Rob is here. Hi, Bad Boy Rob. Let's do you a card for the future. Okay, you can do it, Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is someone we can turn to when we need protection, whether that's in the spiritual realms or from something that's going on in this world. So, Bad Boy Rob, if you need some kind of protection, just ask Archangel Michael and it will happen. Sorry I didn't get your name on the screen there. I've got some crazy cat action going on right now. Bad Boy Rob. Yeah, okay, but yeah, you can do it, okay? Whatever it is you want to do in the future, you can, right? And what I want to say to you is tomorrow is where the future starts. Actually, in 1 minute's time, in 1 second's time, that's when the future starts. Okay, so don't wait forever. Really see your future as 1 minute follows another. Make the best of your future, okay? You won't have to work at it forever, but you can do it. Just cut through the crap, all right? And if someone gets in your way, ask Archangel Michael to help with that. Really do, my friend. Okay. Yeah, Vivian says, great card, Bad Boy Rob. You couldn't wish for a better card, actually. You really couldn't wish for a better card. Right. Okay, so I'm going to do a 3-card reading now for everyone who's watching, whether you're on the live or whether you're watching in the future, and do a 3-card spread to do with this full moon that we're going through at the moment. And then after that, I'm going to do one for Karen. All right, but I'm going to start with a 3-card spread for it's going to apply to the next 2 weeks. You know, the energy of a full moon really goes on for 4 weeks until the next full moon. But there is, of course, that big event of a new moon coming up in roughly 2 weeks' time. So we've got to think about that. And so this is for the next couple of weeks. And this is all to do with the full moon energy that we've got at the moment. Now, quite a few people have been asking for cards for the immediate future in this show tonight. So I'm not surprised that the first one I got is this one. It's number 0 in the Major Arcana. It's the Fool. So new journey starting. Don't worry about that big black hole. All right, particularly in this deck. There's the danger of falling down a hole. Or is that just a puddle that's like only an inch deep and it's not really a problem? Don't worry about it. Just jump over it and keep going. And listen to your higher self, okay? New things are happening. Next card. Ooh, Major Arcana again. Number 15. Focus, focus. Come on, focus. And it is the Devil card. Okay, this is the middle card of a 3-card spread about the full moon that's going on today, Sunday the 22nd. Full moon in Aquarius. Moon is now in Pisces, so there's compassion about. So this isn't a worrying, scary devil. This is just like the devil is in the detail, and you've got to go for it. You've got to move on. You've got to start this fool's journey, whether you want to or not, okay? Because the energy is there to make it start. And card number 3, 8 of Wands. Fast move in progress. And this is why, guys, you want to start making your moves now. You want to start getting things done. Because when the moon is full, everything in nature, everything in the world, whether it's material or spiritual, everything is like at its height of energy. It's really at a peak. Okay, so make the most of this energy. We'll be basking in the full moon power for the next 2 or 3 days. Okay, it takes a little while for that waning to kick in. And it's no bad thing when it does. We're always a bit exhausted, but quite a strong full moon. I had one hell of a dream last night. Wish I could remember it, but I woke up knowing I had one hell of a dream. Okay. Now, Karen's asking, please, can I have a card? Yes, you certainly can, Karen. Okay, let's see. What have we got for you? All right, 2 came out together, as very often happens, so you're going to get 2 cards now. First one, 8 of Swords. Okay, if you're into the tarot, you'll know this one backwards. It's one of the most powerful images in the tarot. Here she is, and this is the Tarot in Wonderland deck, based on the Alice in Wonderland stories. A bit fanciful, but a very powerful deck, actually. And here's Alice tied up to the swords, wrapped up in blindfolds. She could wriggle free of that sword if she wanted to. You have a choice, Karen, right? You can either stay where you are and wait to be rescued, and there's no guarantee that that rescuer will ever come along, you know, or you can free yourself from the situation, which is a much better thing to do. And the second card, Karen, says you will get some help with that. You will get plenty of help with that, actually, because it is the 6 of Wands. Wands is all about getting things done. It's fire sign energy as well, you know, so there's a lot of fire behind it. Marcy loves this card. You love this card, don't you, girl? She's like pouring the card. Don't pour the computer keys though, Marcy, because you'll cut me off. But yeah, Karen, 6 of Wands says we've all got friends. You know, remember the friends who helped you in the past, and be aware that there are friends in this world who can help you now. Only some of them are from the past. There's new friendly energies around you. Okay. And Karen's saying, no one will rescue, lol. Oh, yes, they will. They will, but you might have to wait a long time. Much better to rescue yourself, Karen. Okay, and I'm glad you love the 6 of Wands because it came out strongly for you there. It really did. Okay, guys. On that note, Marcy is in total psychopath mode tonight. I don't know what's got into her. I really don't. But look, say goodbye to your fans, Marcy, because we're going to bring this show to a close at this point. You don't need rescue. I'm glad to hear it. Excellent. Right, now Summers is saying... Can't get the mouse past Marcy, but no, it's hopeless. But Summers is saying, everyone, please remember to like and subscribe. Can I? Yes, I've snuck the mouse in. Everyone, please remember to like and subscribe. Big thanks to all you guys, actually, who have been moderating, and just all of you who have brought your energy here tonight, or this afternoon as it is in the States. And I can't end without this one, right? I'm going to go to Julius. Okay, because you've waited very patiently. I've been scrolling up and down and talking about all sorts of stuff. Seriously, though, guys, last card of the show, it's for Julius. Sir Andy, what can you see about the chances for me to be with DK, a Virgo lady, sometime in the future? It's got to be short and sweet, my friend. Okay. Well, you're moving on to pastures new, and this is directly relating to the question you asked. Okay, it's that Marcy loves it as well. It's the 9 of Pentacles. All right. So it's abundant. Okay. It's going to be good when it happens. Oh, come on. She's really trying to type on the keyboard and she's really putting me off. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles. Just make sure you haven't left anything or anyone important behind, Julius. That's the most important thing. But it is a powerful chance. The Pentacles are a very, very abundant suit. So there is a lot of energy, you know, out there in the universe waiting for that to happen. She's a Virgo lady. She's going to take some persuasion, okay? Just don't let her pull you away from the things from your own past that you want to hang on to, okay? Because the past is old news. You're going to have to move forward for sure, because this is going to happen. It's going to happen, Julius. So you're going to have to move forward for sure. But don't just cut the past off. Remember the lessons of the past. Remember the love of the past. Those are the things we need to hold on to as we go forward. Marcy is indeed very jealous, Mrs. Tyler J. Sandra says, everyone have a great week. Marcy's about to drink out of my cup. Don't be so naughty. Good God, she's so naughty, this cat. Right, thanks everyone. Short and sweet, just an hour there, but I've loved this one. I always love doing these lives. I've got cat hairs all over me now, making me itch. Oh no, baby. But hey, I better give this cat some attention. Like, she's had no attention at all, has she? Only like for the last hour since I started doing the video. But yeah, have a fantastic time ahead, folks. Please enjoy the rest of your day, or the rest of your night, or the rest of your morning, or the rest of your afternoon, depending where you are in the world. We will be back here on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. UK time. I am so looking forward to that. Big thanks to the moderators. Big thanks to all of you. Take care of yourselves, friends. Be good to each other. Like and subscribe, as Sana says. Love to you and light to you, and blessings and peace to you.